Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Oversell podcast. Today we are going over the Montreal Screwjob. I have my friends Bryson and Cam in the call. We're going to talk about the Montreal Screwjob, how it all went down, and why it sucked ass. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the show. This is the first episode. We're going to try to do more. If you guys like this, just tell us, show us support, please. We really want to keep doing this. This is what we enjoy doing, so we're really gonna be all up about this. It's a weird way to say it, but that's what I said. Yeah, and I feel bad for Bret Hart in this whole situation. Shawn Michaels screwed him over. Vince McMahon screwed him over. If you know nothing about it, you're gonna learn about it today. There's a whole Wikipedia article. There's multiple articles. If you don't want to listen to this, which makes me sad, but go ahead. You don't have to. You can find it on Wikipedia. Read about it, whatever. You can find some old 2012 things on YouTube about it from DirecTV. I don't know why. If you're watching on YouTube, I will leave that in the comments. If you were listening on a normal podcast service such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, or Google Podcasts, then this is an edited version for you. But if you want to listen to an unedited version with there will be comments on that one, so I'll have information and stuff down there. If you we have a YouTube channel. It is just the Oversell podcast on YouTube. If you look at the podcast page on Anchor, you can see you can go to our YouTube link. You can go to our Twitter and our Instagram. This is just, this is going to be the first of multiple episodes. I'm going to get back in here with Bryson and Cam, and we're going to go over the Montreal Screwjob. Okay, boys. We are on the air. Okay, radio silence.
Sorry.
Anything, Cam? I at least got a sorry out of Bryson. Cam, something?
I'm not sure.
Okay, guys, if you want to follow these idiots on Instagram, I'll put their handles in the YouTube comments if you're listening to the unedited version. It's also on screen if you're watching the unedited version on YouTube.
Ow.
So, did you just say how?
I said ow.
Okay, well, today on this episode, we were talking about the Montreal Screwjob. I have mentioned this multiple times in the intro. And did you what?
Yeah. I said woo.
Are you Ric Flair?
Yeah, excited. No.
You're just that excited.
Can I just say woo? Because I'm excited.
Fine, yeah, you can just say woo. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Damn. My favorite thing about the Montreal Screwjob, though, it's a whole messed up situation, but there is one good thing out of it. In the DirecTV special on, you can find it on YouTube, there's Alberto Del Rio saying, he said, when I watch it originally, I say, I don't think I see him taps.
No, that wasn't Alberto Del Rio. That was
It wasn't? Oh yeah, no, it was Santino.
No, it's the guy with the Santino.
Morello.
Yeah. And then what did he also say? He said something else.
And then he says, as history goes on, we find out he didn't tap.
He did taps. He didn't tap.
The S that doesn't need to be there is what makes that so great. Okay, well, to start this whole thing off, it started with Bret Hart was he was the WWF champion, I believe it was at the time.
Yes, because he got it from Taker.
Yeah, so he had the WWF championship, and he was making a move to WCW in a few weeks, and he was supposed to lose the title, and he was going to lose it on just a normal weekly show, like average TV programming. Vince wanted him to lose it at Survivor Series '97 though. Survivor Series in '97. Survivor Series in '97 was a hell of a time because it took place in Canada, and that's obviously where Bret Hart is from. And him being from Canada, he didn't want to lose the title in Canada to disappoint the fans. He was going to lose it on the week show after that, right, to Shawn Michaels, either way around. But Vince said fuck that because he didn't want the title to possibly show up on WCW like the women's title did, in which it was thrown into a garbage can. So he wasn't gonna have that again. So Bret, he really wants Bret to lose his title. Bret doesn't want to in Canada because home country, hometown, blah blah blah, all that.
Yeah,
you gotta love it. And then so he signed the contract to join. So he was supposed to join WCW at the beginning of '97 in December. I said, "Fuck, I'm stupid, bro." You hear the way I talk? Okay.
Yes. Well,
he was supposed to join WCW beginning December 1997. Now.
Oh yeah, December 5th.
Yeah, and so that and Survivor Series was obviously at the end of November.
Well, that was like a few months before, right?
What, Survivor Series? That took place in November.
Yeah,
it was just
month
a few
before.
weeks. It was like near the end of November.
Yeah, so it was 1 month before he was supposed to move.
Yeah. So then of course Hart won the championship at SummerSlam '97.
From Mr. Taker.
Yeah, from Taker, of course, because and then so
I don't ever remember him having that title.
So my info says a week prior to Survivor Series, Hart, who had performed for the WWF since 1984, signed a contract to join WCW beginning December '97. McMahon sought to prevent Hart from leaving the company as the champion, but Hart was unwilling to lose the title to Michaels, with whom he had a long feud both on screen and off. At the Survivor Series in his home country of Canada, yeah, he wasn't going to lose.
I have one thing to add to the lead up to this.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was a lead up or if it was after WWF got ownership of WCW, but Michaels actually mentioned how people thought Bret was cheating on his wife with Sunny. And
I remember that.
I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said, "You've seen some sunnier friends, or sunnier days, my friend."
Yeah. That was a good one.
Which funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Michael slept with her too.
Oh yeah, probably.
So wait, all of this is planned, like prior to him leaving, like it was.
Yeah.
It was planned by everybody except for Hart.
Except for Hart. Everyone was in on it except for Hart.
Right.
All right.
Keep in mind, people listening, Cam has very little knowledge of wrestling, so it's a learning experience for him too.
Very little. Very little.
Which I guess is good to have someone like that.
Yeah. So, Hart, Michaels, and McMahon came to an agreement where the Survivor Series match would end with a disqualification, which would result in Hart retaining the title. Hart would then lose or forfeit the title at a later date. However, McMahon decided, without Hart's knowledge, that Michaels would win the title at Survivor Series. Accounts differ as to who exactly was involved in the plan and the extent of their involvement.
Wasn't that JR was involved, but he says he wasn't?
JR was after the meeting, which McMahon supposedly talked about this with everybody, which JR was at. He was seen in the lobby of the Marriott, which the meeting was taking place at. In the lobby of the Marriott Hotel, he was seen, and he was reportedly uneasy and paranoid, which seems like an overstatement, but also, when you're screwing a man over like this.
Yeah, and he's clearly gonna hate you for the rest of his life.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would be uneasy, especially if it was a wrestler that I was screwing over.
Yeah. And then so then my source also says the plan was executed when match referee Earl Hebner, on direct orders from McMahon, ended the match as Michaels held Hart in the sharpshooter submission hold, Hart's signature finishing move, even though Hart had not submitted. Michaels was declared the winner by submission and crowned as the new WWF champion. So pretty much what it's saying is that Hart was put into the sharpshooter, his own finishing move, by Michaels. He did not tap. He never tapped, but the ref called the bell, or the ref called for the bell. Timekeeper said no, and then Vince said, "Ring the fucking bell." And you can hear him if you rewatch the match. You can hear him saying that. It's actually pretty funny to me.
Also,
but yeah.
Apparently, before he did do the sharpshooter, he also raked Hart's eyes
Oh
as
yeah, I
well,
remember that.
which is an illegal move.
Yeah, and I remember the ref saw that too, but he acted like he didn't. He didn't call the match.
So,
it was nothing.
But he did call a match for a sharpshooter that he did not tap to.
Right. So then, let's see. So we got after this, the Montreal Screwjob was known as a notorious legacy both on screen and off, and was partly chronicled in the documentary film Hitman Hart, subtitled Wrestling with Shadows, made in 1998. That's interesting to me that he had a documentary in '98.
Oh wow! I did not know that.
In fact,
either.
I think, let me check real quick, but I'm pretty sure that A&E did one of their quick documentaries on Bret Hart.
On him.
I think it was him at least, because I know that they did a few for wrestlers, but let's see. Biography. Let's see if I can find all of them. They made so many.
Oh, and then while you're doing that, apparently Mick Foley did not attend the next night's Raw.
Mick Foley?
Yeah, in protest. And then...
Yeah, they did do one on Bret the Hitman Hart. So he's had a few biographies and documentaries in his life.
Yeah, Mick Foley, in protest, did not go to the next Raw, but returned working after that due to his contract stipulations. So McMahon literally made him continue working for him.
So it says that the far-reaching impact of the incident led to its adoption as a theme in matches and storylines of the WWF's Attitude Era, and the creation of the character of Mr. McMahon, the evil boss. The evil boss. That's funny.
Yeah, I bet at that time a lot of people didn't know it was real. They thought it was just a storyline to send Bret off.
Yeah.
On a bad note, of course, but still.
A lot of people were like, I guess he tapped, but I didn't see him tap. I guess I blinked. Right?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people were like. I was like, you're stupid. So then, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, so, Hart's first pay-per-view appearance for WCW was Starrcade. I believe it was Starrcade 98.
Well, apparently Owen Hart punched McMahon because of this. And that one single punch sent McMahon dropping onto the floor.
Interesting. Like, it was just a stiff, unscripted...
It was a stiff punch right to his eye.
Damn!
Like, apparently it gave him a black eye, and he fell right to the floor. And then, also, Hart's then wife, Julie, confronted Triple H about the finish but then was escorted out by Owen Hart.
Interesting.
Oh, and he also McMahon had a sprained ankle because he rolled onto his ankle when he was
Ha!
falling.
What a piece of shit. He got what he deserved.
To be honest, he did earn it.
Let's see. So I mean, overall, this was a whole massacre. If you ask me, this was like fucking the Boston Tea Party, but like bullshit.
For WWE.
Yeah, and it was bullshit. It
It
was
kinda
like
was, 'cause it
it
was
was like the
flipping-
Boston Massacre, fucking bloody Boston, Massachusetts, or whatever the fuck that was from the Revolutionary War. Look, I don't pay attention in school. I mean, this was
Yeah, the Boston Massacre.
yeah, Boston Massacre. You know.
Yeah.
Cam, you got an opinion on this whole thing?
Holy!
I just hear a holy
Honestly,
shit.
I was reading something about Rick Rude. He apparently something happened. Like apparently he went in with a full beard. For some reason, this is mentioned, and he criticized Michael, because he was part of it, and the WWF, calling the parent company of Raw Titanic, because it was a sinking ship. And
That
then
is
an
what I
hour
call comedy.
later, Rude. Let me read this. An hour later on Raw, which had been taped 6 days earlier, Rude then appeared with the full beard he had been spotted during his last few weeks with the WWF. So, he purposely grew out a beard, I'm guessing, because he knew swapping companies.
Yeah.
this is more interesting than I expected. Honestly,
I know, right, dude?
pretty cool.
He probably think it's more interesting after the fact that Owen Hart punched McMahon right in the face, because that was the second thing I heard you say during this whole movie.
Like the entire thing, I guess it's hearing Henry talk about it so in depth. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I won't even lie.
Yeah. So then, let's see. The guest host. So the Bret Hart's return to WWE was January 4th, 2010 on Monday Night Raw. Him and Shawn Michaels in the ring.
Made up, apparently, right?
I believe so. Hang on.
Well, made up in quotation marks.
Yeah.
They were probably thinking to themselves, I really hate this guy.
The main reason for his return, though, was because he was the guest host for the Slammy Awards.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's the Oscars, but
yeah. But apparently, didn't he get attacked during the Slammies as well? By a random fan?
I thought it was either the Slammies or the Hall of Fame. It was the same.
I think it was Hall of Fame, actually, because I don't think it was at the Slammies.
One of the two.
But yeah.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is written about from Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. I hate this name, by the way, people. Dave Meltzer wrote that Hart had signed a 4-month contract with WWE and would debut as the guest host of Raw on January 4th, 2010. So according to Meltzer, he had gotten a 4-month contract. Now here's the thing: I don't like Dave Meltzer, and I don't know that I trust anything he says, but we're gonna go with it for the sake of history.
Okay.
Also, can we talk for a second? Sidebar here. how much Vince Russo fucking sucks. I mean, this man would not stop with the pole matches. Like, would not stop. It was pole match after pole match with this man. He wrote some of the worst shit we've ever seen. And honestly, I agree with Jim Cornette. Someone needs to piss on his grave when he dies.
Yeah, someone. Yeah, he's way too obsessed with it.
Hell, you shut the fuck up. I'm gonna go piss on his grave when he dies. I'll shit on his grave, dude,
No,
if I have
I
to.
wasn't talking about you. I was talking about how he was obsessed with those matches.
Oh
Henry.
yeah, okay. I was
How
like,
did it
I'm
say
not
Vince
obsessed with Russo. I don't give a shit about Russo.
Apparently, we got an online brawl in the podcast.
Let's see. Back on topic though. Apparently, since 2002, Bret Hart and Vince McMahon were on slight speaking terms. So they pretty much hated each other.
But they would occasionally talk to each other.
Let's see. Let's see. It says the feud culminated in an encounter at WrestleMania 26, which saw Hart defeat McMahon in a match that involved the Hart family. After the match, Hart would continue to periodically work televised events for WWE. Hart briefly held the United States Championship in May 2010, and let's see, he previously held that title 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, it was his first. It was also his first championship reign in WWE since the Montreal Screwjob. Hart appeared on the September 10th 2012 episode of Raw at the Bell Center in Montreal, marking his return for the first time to the same building where the Screwjob occurred, where he took part in an interview segment featuring John Cena and WWE Champion CM Punk. However, the episode was overshadowed by Jerry Lawler's real on-air heart attack earlier in the evening. How does shit like go so well together? Bret Hart returns to the place of his worst, the worst time in wrestling, and then
does an interview with a man that also got screwed over by the WWE.
Yeah, but in the same night, also a heart attack happening.
Flipping Jerry Lawler has a heart attack.
I mean, I feel bad for that poor man. He's had a few strokes, I think. I know he's had at least one stroke.
Apparently, he actually died when he had that heart attack.
Yeah, and they saved his ass.
Then they brought him back to life.
Somehow, some way. I'd never want to know.
Here, I'm gonna go get a drink real fast.
Alright. Let's see.
Henry?
Yeah?
If you just had, like... Never mind.
No, say it.
Well, I was saying Bryson was getting a drink, but whatever, I'm off topic.
Okay, then.
A commercial break.
Commercial break. I mean... How about go subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel. If you're not listening on the YouTube channel, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, because you can hear a lot more of you
hear a lot more about bullshit.
Yeah,
that's what you're hearing.
Yeah, a lot more of his bullshit. I guess, I don't know.
Technically, it isn't really bullshit. I guess it's good information, but still.
Yeah,
I can say stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was your whole thing there. You just wanted to say bullshit. Cam just said you could hear more of my bullshit, and then and I think that was literally just his excuse to say bullshit.
I think it was too. And then he mutes himself.
I know, right? He doesn't even respond to this.
I mean, and then mutes.
It's the one thing I wanted to say.
That's the one thing. You just want to say bullshit. It's the whole reason you
It's
you
fact.
agreed to this. You wanted to say bullshit on a podcast. You've never done that
Don't
before.
say bullshit. No, I have not. There's a first. There's a first for everything, Henry.
Yeah. It's my first podcast, okay? So I'm working
Yeah.
on this. Let's see. Pat Patterson was involved apparently. Let's see if I can find
I
out
forgot
more
about
about
that. That Pat Patterson was involved in this whole thing. I
Let's see.
saw him. No.
So Michaels reportedly was told, he said, "This cannot be discussed with anyone. Pat can't know, nobody can know about this, but the three of us right now. We had the meeting, and as everyone was leaving, Vince asked Hunter and Jerry Briscoe, a longtime agent and close confidant, confidant, whatever, Vince's, to stay. We sat down and talked, and Pat was in the room with us, and he had no idea what was going on, what was going to happen. He had a strong relationship with Brett. He wouldn't have done it, and Vince knew that. That's why he didn't tell Pat. However, in Dave Meltzer's online account of events before, during, and after the Screwjob, he states Vince McMahon held a meeting at the hotel with Jim Ross, Jim Cornette, Pat Patterson, and Shawn Michaels. Reports are that at least two of the aforementioned names looked extremely uncomfortable leaving the meeting, which suggests that Patterson may, in fact, have been in on the Screwjob. This is corroborated by a Pro Wrestling Torch article from November 15th, 1997 by Wade Keller, which states, however, a 2-hour meeting was held on the second floor of the Montreal Marriott on Saturday night with McMahon, Jim Ross, Pat Patterson, Jim Cornette, and Shawn Michaels. Brett was wrestling that night in Detroit. There's some belief that at this meeting, McMahon proposed the idea of the finish to whoever of that group wasn't already in on it. Ross and Patterson entered the meeting in a good mood, and when they were seen in the hotel lobby afterwards, were said to be irritable, forlorn, and shaken. Damn. What you say exactly to him, Vince? You say, "Do it or you're fired."
Do it now, boys.
Now, boys. Yeah.
I like how you grunted in the voice too.
Let's see. In addition, Hart states in Hitman that while conversing with Michaels, I added, "I also want you to know that I have no problem dropping the belt to you if that's what Vince wants." He glared back at me. "I appreciate that, but I want you to know that I'm not willing to do the same for you." And then he left. Jim Neidhart snorted. "I can't believe that he just said that," is what Jim said. "There was no way I could ever drop the belt to him now. He just shown complete disrespect not only to me, but to the position of champion." This exchange is confirmed in Dave Meltzer's account. During the meeting, Hart told Michaels that he'd be happy to put him over at the end of the run, but Michaels told Hart flat out that he wouldn't return the favor. Michaels and Hart spoke again on the subject on October 12th in San Jose, when once again Michaels told Hart that he wasn't going to do a job for him. Additionally, in Forgiven, Vince Russo stated, Forgiven, the docuseries thing, whatever it was, Vince Russo stated, okay, this is the one thing that this is why I hate Russo. Vince Russo stated, "Well, no surprise here, Brett refused to do the job for Shawn in Canada. Not because he was being unprofessional, but because, according to Brett, Michaels had said that he wouldn't do business with him due to the way that he felt about it." So, doesn't that just sound like Russo completely took Michael's side on this?
Yeah, it does. And then
This is why I don't like
found
Russo.
out as well. So you know how like I was telling you about how Owen
Yeah.
punched McMahon right in the face.
Yeah.
Apparently, his brother-in-law Davey Boy
Mhm.
was also angry about it, as well as Vader, because Vader had similar things with Michaels, because Michaels hated Vader, and so what he did, he was told McMahon to stop Vader's push, and Vader never got a push ever again.
Yeah. Wait,
So he had
sidebar real quick. Sidebar. I know I've told you this, Bryson. But because you mentioned Vader, but I know I've told you this at the Starrcade 93 match. The main event was Ric Flair versus Big Van Vader for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Vader was the champion at the time, and in this match, Vader was throwing stiff punches. He was bullying the shit out of Ric Flair. Ric Flair, I don't think that he would have survived if he wouldn't have started punching back. And the only reason he did start punching back was because Harley Race, who was at the time Vader's manager, said to Flair in the match, he said, he's bullying you. He's punching you. Punch him back. And so Flair just started throwing, like, as hard as he could, putting power behind the chops, stiffs into Vader's face.
That's exactly why Michaels also did that as well. So
Yeah.
that explains it.
Yeah.
He's basically the Nia Jax of the Attitude Era. Or maybe not the Attitude Era, but like, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, 93 was around there. Let's see. Several within the business believe the Montreal Screwjob was a work. Now, for people like Cam, if you don't know what work means, it means just like it was put on. It was all staged, right? So people believed it was a work. In which Hart acted in
Possibly,
collaboration.
but I don't think it is.
They believed it was actually planned. Like
some
people
people,
it was planned with everybody involved.
Like they think that
Hart was in on it too.
Hart was in as well.
Yeah.
They thought that everybody was involved, and it wasn't just like a I get what you mean.
Yeah, but there could be a possibility that that's true, but from what I've heard from Brett himself, does not sound like he's
my god!
working.
And the list of people who actually that have reportedly said that they believe it was all work includes Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Bam Bam Bigelow, Road Dogg, George the Animal Steel, Steve Carino, and let's see, Paul Bearer and Sonny all think it was a work.
Of course, Sonny would.
Yeah, she just got out of jail, by the way.
Oh, she finally got out of jail?
Yeah.
I know she's been in jail like 4 times in the last 5 years.
Dude, I don't even know.
And she's also didn't she also shave herself bald?
Maybe?
And I think she's been arrested because of drugs.
That would make sense. Oh, and this is just great, right? Jerry Lawler is not certain. He's uncertain about the whole thing. He said that he finds it plausible that Hart was working with McMahon on the whole thing. He thinks it's possible.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have an opinion, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Like, there could be a possibility that he did.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard from Brett himself, like I said, I don't think Brett would be working this whole time.
Right. Now, this opinion was also shared by Road Warrior Animal and Sean Waltman, or X-Pac, who, fun fact, was in a porno with China. One Night in China, he was the guy.
I knew you were going to mention that.
At some point.
I knew as soon as I heard X-Pac that you were going to say that.
Yeah. In fact, I watched the China documentary on Vice TV. Not the whole thing. I watched most of it, though. And that's how I know about that.
I'm not
Uh,
surprised you watched it. I'm not surprised at all.
I didn't watch the porno. Calm down.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I'm
Well,
surprised.
you
I'm not
implied
surprised you
it.
take interest in it. Oh, what?
I felt like it was implied.
No.
was,
I was saying
it's all
that
staged.
I'm not. I'm not surprised that Henry took interest in this
Oh,
specific
yeah, that makes
topic.
sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Let's see.
Mm.
Yeah, and once again, I continuously keep seeing the fact that Hart beat Undertaker at SummerSlam '97.
Me too. I've
Like,
seen that many times.
Yeah,
Just
which
sitting here.
I didn't know this, had Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee.
Yeah, and apparently at the end of the match, Hart spit in the face of Michaels.
Yeah.
What's up with the spitting in the faces here?
Now, what I do know is that after the Montreal Screwjob occurred, that Brett spit in Vince's face from the ring.
Oh
Very
yeah.
clearly, and it was very enjoyable. And then he started writing WCW in the air with his finger. Because
Yeah, and then immediately after that, McMahon got punched in the face.
yeah,
That's when he got punched in the face, I believe.
yeah. Well, that's all I got about the Montreal Screwjob. Cam, you got an opinion of the whole thing at all? Just to get you some talking time.
Honestly, I think I've said what I've needed to say, Henry.
You said all you needed to say.
I said all I needed to say.
Bryson, anything?
Well, I can't really think of anything else, which I did say more than Cam at least.
Yeah.
You did, but hey, look who has the least amount of experience here and who has the most.
Fair enough.
I've never. Okay. I don't know that much about wrestling either, Cam. I just know like surface level.
Bryson, you play the games. You know more than I do.
I play the games, but that doesn't mean I know a lot about the history of wrestling.
Not the history.
Just play a few showcases. You'll get it all down. Just play showcase
The
mode a
only
few
showcase
times.
mode I've ever played was that Daniel Bryan one.
That's the only one from 2K19.
Yeah, and it took 2 years for me to beat. So I don't want to do another showcase mode.
I beat it in less than a day, Bryson. Less than a day.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
It took me like a year, or maybe even 2. Like I said, it took me a very long time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not do any more showcases for a while.
I like the Stone Cold showcase in 2K16. It was good. One thing that I do find interesting, this has nothing to do with Montreal Screwjob, or hell, it has nothing to do with the 1990s or the 2010s. The other day, the AEW Women's Champion, Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Sorry, I almost got that wrong. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, posted a video with Cobra Kai and Karate Kid actor Martin Kove, in which he stated that she was a part of the dojo of Cobra Kai, and I was very intrigued. But in the end, the best thing about it was whenever she said her thing, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, his hand motions were weird, dude. It was like he had fucking Tourette's or something. and he just because keep in mind he's old. But it was like he was senile. Like, I mean, he probably is. But we can.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, oh god. That's what I have to say about everything these days.
I think that's what I've had to say about everything tonight.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
Just about everything in general tonight.
Everything.
Not just the podcast, just everything.
Just everything, yeah.
Dude, I'm stoked for tomorrow's episode of Dynamite. Like, it's gonna be dope. It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, It has to be. Women's championship will be on the line. Texas Death Match: John Moxley versus Lance Archer. Orange Cassidy versus the Blade. Hopefully that finishes that rivalry. I didn't even know it was really that much of a rivalry till Road Rager.
Are you still going with the podcast?
Oh yeah. Obviously.
Okay. Well, I thought you would have ended it by now because you're just talking about random wrestling things.
But yeah, that's. I'm just sharing opinions and stuff. I think we can get away with 30 seconds of Heart Attack, the Bret Hart theme, right? For just a.
Well, I mean, it's going on Spotify, right?
I know, right? So like,
so
maybe we can get away with a few minutes of this.
On the Spotify version, we should still be fine with it, but I don't know about the YouTube one.
Well, screw it. I'm putting it in there. I'm putting.
What's wrong with it?
It's copyright.
Yeah.
Oh.
So WWE's yeah. We're talking about
showing
Robert's theme.
Oh yeah, I understand you now.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking like this whole thing, it's about Bret Hart. So like, why don't we just end the show with a little bit of Heart Attack? Bye. I'm not gonna play it on my phone like I normally would.
Well, then how are we gonna hear it?
I'm just gonna edit it in, Bryson.
Oh.
Look it up!
No, I don't want to look it up.
Damn you! If you want to hear it, then you gotta look it up.
No.
Why?
Laziness.
I'm messing with you.
Okay then. I'm just trying to think like.
I've heard it many times, especially because of Natalia as well.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I want to go ahead and announce what next week's topic is gonna be, but
do a wheel then.
Spinner wheel? Okay.
Yeah, let's do the wheel.
Yeah, do the spinner wheel.
Okay, let me delete us, and then here we go. Spinner wheel. I hate the awful sound this makes, and everyone on the
podcast can turn it off.
Too.
You can turn it off.
Yeah. On mine, I can't.
I figured out how to do it. Fine. You should use
the history of the Japanese death match. That's what we were talking about next week. That's actually a good one. I'm a fan of that.
Sweet. I finally get a heads up.
You finally get a heads up. Do your research.
I know.
Oh damn! I didn't get to do research for this one.
I got that 15-minute research time.
Dude, keep in mind that we came up with this idea literally less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah, because I told him about the app, and then he started thinking of something we can do.
Okay, well that concludes episode 1 of the Oversell podcast. Thank you for listening. Enjoy Heart Attack, the Bret Hart theme, as we go out. We'll see you next week with the history
that
of
time
the
it was a reference with. Woo! That time it was a reference to Ric Flair.
Okay.
Cam,
can we get a Ric Flair woo?
Not sure about that one, Henry.
All you gotta do is go woo! Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.